Chapter 17. Only a miracle can save Caius. A ghost? Flavius' gasp was almost soundless. Antonius seems to have been right, Publius whispered. The ghost abruptly pulled a spade from under the white cloth that covered him. He bent over and started digging. By Pluto, that's no ghost, Rufus said. It's one of those ghouls who rob graves. What vermin, Julius said. With all his might, he hurled his big stick at the man like a spear. The blow sent the grave robber sprawling. He jumped up, threw his spade down, and fled in terror, leaping over graves and tombstones as he ran. The boys bellowed with laughter. He thinks we're ghosts, Publius said mischievously. What a sly dog, Julius said. He disguised himself as a ghost to scare off his brothers in the trade. These roughnecks really believe firmly in witches and ghosts. He went over and picked up his stick. Let's go, he said. Now to Xantippus. Xantippus was sitting on his bed and by the light of a flickering lamp was studying geometric figures on a roll of papyrus. He jumped up when his pupils burst into the room and came at them in a terrible temper. By all the Furies, where have you been so long? He cried. Why didn't you send me word immediately whether you'd got hold of Caius or not? I've been sitting here for 5 hours staring at my acute angles. We're sorry, Master Zanthos, Julius said, but we've been to the cemetery on a mission of the greatest importance. Why? Did you want to get buried? We were spying on the 2 conspirators, Publius confessed. Are you out of your minds, jeopardizing your lives like that? Where are Mucius and Antonius? They're following the ex-gladiator, Rufus said. He's kidnapped Caius and taken him off somewhere, Julius said. For the first time the boys saw Xantippus turn pale. Taken Caius, he said in distress. He sat down and ran trembling fingers through his gray hair. That means you didn't get to him then. Julius nodded. He explained what had happened. Once we hear from Mucius and Antonius where the ex-gladiator lives, we'll free Caius by force, he concluded. That's madness, Xantippus said fiercely. Why? Julius asked, shrinking away. Xantippus explained what he meant. First, the ex-gladiator has no house, he said. He's as homeless as a stray dog, or he wouldn't find it so necessary to murder people for money. He probably rents a room somewhere, in a tenement or a cheap inn. Second, for this reason, he wouldn't hold Caius prisoner at his place at all, but would take him to one of his rotten companions. Third, in consideration of your parents, I absolutely forbid you to rush into any more dangerous situations. Your game of hide and go seek at the cemetery was foolish enough. Xantippus' sermon dashed the spirits of his pupils like a cold shower. Rufus cried in despair, but we can't sit around and wait until the gods save Caius by a miracle. Yes, you will, my son, Xantippus said. You will do just that. Sit around and wait. Now it's time for me to make a strong move. I personally will see to it that Caius is free. By Jupiter, Julius thought, does Xantippus believe himself to be a god and able to work miracles? Only a miracle can save Caius. Or does Xantippus maybe want to challenge the ex-gladiator to a duel? Xantippus continued, one can best defang a snake by stepping on its head. This murder is for money merely. As soon as Mucius and Antonius learn where the ex-gladiator lives, I'll go and offer him 2,000 pieces of gold to free Caius. I've saved the little money, and it lies next door in my secret chamber where Udo is sleeping. 2,000 pieces of gold is twice the amount your mysterious fat man will pay the man to murder. An assassination is far more complicated and dangerous than what I will pay him for. He'll grab at the chance with both hands. Senator Venetius definitely will return your money, Master Zanthos, Rufus said reassuringly. Under no circumstances would I accept it, Xantippus grumbled. What's happened is partly my fault, he added with a cough. I should not have allowed Caius to go to the prefect. With all due respect, Master Zanthos, Julius said gravely, but this time we, your pupils, must not let you go. Am I hearing you correctly, Julius? Xantippus asked severely. The ex-gladiator will really grab you with both hands, but only to strangle you and steal your money. Then he'll go calmly ahead and kill Venetius too, and have 3,000 gold pieces instead of 2. Xantippus gave a short laugh. Julius, there's a saying that youths who have not yet grown a beard sometimes make the best philosophers. But you underestimate your teacher. I wouldn't think of taking the money with me. I'll tell the ex-gladiator that if he brings Caius the next morning to the Great Hall in the Julian Basilica and hands him over to me, he'll get his money. In the presence of judges, guards, and officials, he'll think twice before trying to strangle me. But my plan is useless unless Mucius and Antonius come back, he added with concern. Let's hope the ex-gladiator hasn't taken them too, Flavius said. They should have been here long ago, Publius said. We left the cemetery at least a quarter of an hour later than they did. He had scarcely spoken when they heard somebody speak behind the curtains. "Bravo! And that's as it should be." The next instant Antonius entered. "The gods of the underworld cordially greet you," he shouted, laughing high-spiritedly, and he saluted with a sword like a victorious gladiator. His friends were speechless. Antonius was wearing breast armor and a helmet so big for him that it had slid down over his ears. He was holding a short double-edged sword in his right hand, and behind him, with his left, he was dragging a net weighted with lead balls. "Yes, take a good long look at me," he said, grinning, "for I've just had one foot in hell and escaped death only by a hair."